everyone, welcome to our mini mic series episode 2. To reintroduce myself, my name is Jennifer Nguyen and I am the digital marketing coordinator here at Siren Proper. So to review what the mini mic series is about, basically we will be touching base on any services, aftercares, on what we do, and what to expect during appointments here at Siren. During episode 1, you guys got to come along with me to the downtown location to get my Ombre Powder Brows done. Now that it's episode 2, we will be looking at the healing process journey. So when my brows were healing, there were some parts that were good, bad, and ugly, but most time it turned out really great. So not will I only talk about the healing process, I will also be covering about the 6-week follow-up appointment, which is after your initial Ombre Powder Brow appointment. So stay tuned and let's look at day 2. Hey everyone, welcome to day 2. This is what my brows look like after the Ombre Powder Brow appointment. So for the first few days, they're just going to be darker and bolder. As of now, it feels swollen and tender. But don't worry, after for a while, they will start to fade and shrink. If it starts to get itchy, try your best not to scratch it because it's still fresh. As you can see here, we made some hair strokes in the front. So this would be more considered as a combination brow, but we still use the Ombre Powder Brow shading technique for the tail. We wanted to do the combination Ombre Powder Brows because I didn't have enough hair in the front, so we decided to fill them in to make them look more full. So for the first week, we're gonna focus on not getting the brows wet, but if you do get them wet, please gently pat them with a dry towel. I will also post the aftercare right here, so you can pause to read to see what you need to do during this process. So this is day 4. Brows are feeling itchy and still swollen and red. It feels like a sunburn, which means that it's gonna start scabbing soon. It doesn't hurt right now, but it just feels really irritated. This is day 6 of the healing process. So this is what they look like. Normally, during this stage, people would already be scabbing. Mine is taking its time, but it looks like it's starting to lift up a little and starting to scab. I don't feel any swelling or redness anymore. Maybe a little itchy, but the color is starting to fade a little bit. Alright, so it's been a week since my Ombre Powder Brow appointment. My skin is starting to scab a little bit. It's starting to lift up more than it was before. I didn't film as much from the previous days because everything seems to look the same. But overall, slowly flaking. This is day 10 of the healing process. So my brow pigment is starting to fade more and the skin is drastically lifting. You can see that it's like a little patchy and there's some flakes going on. So my healing process is a little slower than most people. I was mentioned before that I had dry skin. People with dry skin tend to hold the pigment longer than those that have greasy skin. It's not bad to have greasy skin because Ombre Powder Brows works for everybody. Alright guys, so this is week 3. So far they are patchy, especially this one, not this eye, but like this one is like taking its sweet time just to peel, and then this one is almost done. So hopefully by next week everything will be healed and I can finally rub my eyebrows again. So you thought it might be over after the first initial appointment, but no, you still have to go get the follow-up appointment, which mine is like about in a few weeks. and I have to get it retouched with Nguyen. So the follow-up appointment is known as the perfecting appointment. It is where we can lock in the color / pigment and the brow shape. Then after the follow-up appointment, you will need to do the healing process and the Ombre Powder Brow aftercare again. But once everything is healed, you won't have to worry about getting them retouched for a long time. So now we are on week 5, and then this is what they look like now. Way more softer and not as bold as they were in the beginning of this process. So if you do consider getting ombre powder brows done, they will last you for a long time, which is like 2 to 3 years, but it can last you much longer depending on how you take care of them. But you don't have to wait for 2 to 3 years to get it retouched. You can get it retouched anytime, maybe even like a year after your follow-up appointment, because maybe you like the bolder, thicker look. It just depends on your preference. So I bet most of you are wondering, how did I avoid getting them wet during the first week of the healing process? Well, I literally had to tilt my head back like this in the shower, which sounds ridiculous, but there are methods and other ways to avoid getting your brows wet. So what I found on the other day, there was a product on Amazon called like brow shields or lash shields, whatever you want to call it. They protect brows or lashes getting wet. So if you don't want to do the head tilting method that I did for a week, I would really highly recommend the shields. And then I will post a link at the bottom right here where you can get those as well. What was the hardest part and the easiest part of the healing process? Well, for the hardest part was basically trying not getting them wet for a week. Especially when I had to do the head tilting method, which is embarrassing, but I wish I did get the brow shields. So hopefully that's like one lesson to learn, is find a more convenient way to not getting them wet. And then for the easiest part, I think it was just watching them every day and watching them turn into beautiful brows like we are today. I really highly recommend getting ombre powder brows done because 1, you don't have to put on brow makeup anymore, and then like that's more convenient and less time in your makeup routine. And 2, they last for a long time and you don't have to get them retouched for at least 2 to 3 years. So if you're ever considering doing ombre powder brows, you can give us a call at 616-427-5394 at any of our locations, and we will be happy to assist you in making that appointment happen. So to wrap up the Mini Mic series episode 2, we would like to say thank you for watching, and then we will see you in episode 3. And if you'd like to see more of our videos, please feel free to subscribe or leave us a comment. Thank you!